You tell yourself you're over it, that you've moved on, that what happened was toxic, that they were cruel, that they didn't deserve your love. And yet every night, every quiet moment, they creep back into your thoughts. The way they laughed, the way they looked at you like you were the only person in the world, the way your heart felt like it finally found its missing piece. And then, the way they ripped it all away. You replay it like a film on repeat over and over again, not because you want to, but because you can't stop. And that's the obsession trap. This isn't just heartbreak, this is psychological warfare. What they did to you wasn't love, it was manipulation. It was a slow, careful game designed to make you addicted to them. You see, manipulators don't want a partner. They want control. And the fastest way to gain control? Make you fall for a fantasy. In the beginning, they mirrored you. They studied your wounds. They gave you the validation you've been starved for. It felt intoxicating, that first high, the attention, the closeness, the promises. They pulled you in fast, on purpose. Because once they knew you were hooked, the mask came off. Suddenly the warmth became cold. The text stopped. The tone changed. Where there was once "I love you," now there was silence, sarcasm, and suspicion. And you panicked. You thought, what did I do? And just like that, they had you. Because now you weren't chasing love. You were chasing a fix. Your brain, wired by dopamine, started associating the tiny breadcrumbs of attention with relief. When they went cold, you spiraled. When they gave you a moment of kindness, you felt whole again. That's intermittent reinforcement. The same tactic used in casinos to keep gamblers hooked. Only this time the slot machine is your heart. But it doesn't stop there. They used your vulnerabilities against you. Every secret you shared became ammo. Every fear you confessed, every pain you revealed, twisted and thrown back at you when you least expected it. You tried harder. You loved deeper. You thought if you just proved yourself they'd come back, but that was never the goal. The goal was to keep you off balance, so you wouldn't notice they were draining you. Emotionally, mentally, sometimes even financially. They weren't looking for love. They were feeding off your suffering. That's why no apology came. That's why closure never happened. Because to them, your pain is power. And the more obsessed you became with getting back what you lost, the more they won. So why can't you stop thinking about them? Because your brain still hasn't realized the game is over. You're still stuck in the cycle. Trauma bonding. A cycle where pain and pleasure blend until you can't tell the difference. Where the person who hurt you the most is also the one you crave the most. And that's what makes it dangerous. But here's the truth. You are not weak. You are not crazy. You were manipulated. Intentionally. Strategically. And now that you see it, you can start to break free. Because healing doesn't start with forgetting them. It starts with remembering yourself. Who you were before the love bomb. Before the gaslighting. Before the nights you cried yourself to sleep wondering what went wrong. It starts with reclaiming your reality, your voice, your peace. No, it won't be easy. You'll still have days where you miss the illusion, where the loneliness creeps in. But each time you resist the urge to stalk their profile, to replay that memory, to romanticize the pain, you win. You reclaim a piece of yourself. And eventually the grip loosens. The obsession fades. You stop needing closure from the person who gave you the wound. Because you realize, the closure is you. Choosing yourself. Again and again. Until they become just a lesson. Not a longing. Not a need. Just a shadow in your story. One that no longer controls the light. That is the day you win. That is the day you're free. And that day starts now. You tell